Still be cruising when the sun goes down.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this very special three-part podcast merged into one. If you want more context as to exactly what we're talking about, there are two things you're going to want to check out. First, search on YouTube, Slam and Jam CAW. That's Wade Needham's full-on CAW promotion that he's ran for a number of years. Definitely go check out that content and give him some love over there. And also, check out the No DQ CAW Vault channel, where you will find all No DQ CAW related content. You could also follow Wade at Ring Scoops on Twitter and on YouTube, and follow his assorted links on link.tree. Thank you very much again for Wade Needham, the man, the myth, the legend, for being a part of this podcast special. We're back, baby.
What happens when a man with ADHD
And a man with full-blown autism start a wrestling podcast.
Insanity Works Studios
And J. Hebert Studios
proudly present Wrestling with Idiocy.
Blooper!
And welcome back to part 2 of our interview with Wade. I completely forgot his last name. Cut that.
Wade.
You are an incredible fucking interviewer.
Wonderful. Great.
Just put it, David Letterman, you are. I'm here with Guy. Fuck it.
I'm here with the guy from Disturbed. No, wait, no.
No,
wrong
wait,
guy.
that's not how that works. Cut that. Take 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the final part of the Wade Needham interview here on Wrestling with Idiocy. It's been such an honor having him on, and I'm so glad we were able to do this with him. And this last hour has some good moments. It also has some dark humor, so if you're squeamish about the dark humor, look away now. All in jest. Do not take life so seriously. I want to put that in perspective now. With that being said, if you're interested in seeing more of Wrestling with Idiocy, please do us a favor and go check out Wrestling with Idiocy on Luke Lynch's channel. One more time, that is youtube.com/user/metalnut1120. And if you're on Luke Lynch's channel and you're watching this part of the video, which is part 3 right now, this is for the people that are watching the parts, check out the elongated podcast over on my channel. That's youtube.com/user/jhebertside95. We will link to that in the iCard here and in the description down below if you want to check out the full podcast, the full uninterrupted interview with commercial breaks in between. Give that a watch, give that a shout. Check out all the other content on there as well. We got so much content for FTW Productions, as we said in the ad before. There's tons to watch. Definitely give that a watch. So much going on for FTW Productions, and I am thrilled that it is coming back in full swing. By this point, you've probably seen a lot of the content that we are working on at this very moment. With that being said, let's get back to the interview with Mr. Wade Needham. Okay. Casey, what was the question again?
Excuse me. So James, what are you most proud of from WIW?
I am most proud of. I think I said this, but probably just the fact that we made Immortal, and people absolutely loved it. I think my favorite moment would probably have to be, because mine's our CAW careers, while we've been doing this for a bit, is still relatively young.
Yeah.
And Mike knows where I'm going with this. Is when Mike Nikos saw his promo package for Immortal, for his character, which is going to be debuting on the debut episode.
Yes. I will fucking throw this chair level.
He got
pop.
so pop. He marked out for that promo so hard, seeing himself on screen in that manner.
And cutting that badass of a promo.
Awesome promo. Fucking great promo. I recommend that. That's the first thing I would show anybody of CAW when it comes to promos. He throws his chair He literally, he stepped out of his chair, threw the chair, turned around, threw the chair, and he's like, let's fucking go.
nearly threw his chair out of the window from his finished basement.
That was the funniest thing ever, and also the greatest thing ever. I think my other favorite reactions is also Nick. Nick's reaction, you could tell when something's good just by looking at his face. That's a big face. But when you look at it and you know you're doing something right. And I think my other favorite memory, and Mike knows where I'm going with this one too, the ending of Immortal. So we have a cinematic as fuck visual, Wade. I keep this in mind. This was the finish of this main event. Mark Young, he's the top heel. He's cowering to the top of the cell, trying to get away from the badass, stone cold like babyface Michael X. Climbs up. He's literally looking down, down on him. And Casey, re-say the line if you can, as Mark Young, because I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah. Why are you still fighting me, Michael? Could you join me? We could rule the wrestling world together. Join me. Join the Maggies.
And Mike replied with...
Sorry, Nikos keeps calling me while you guys are talking.
Yeah, tell him you can't.
I know. So I heard part of that, and then immediately
I'm going over the main event with him. So Casey just talked about Mark Young's join the Maggies, and you replied with.
Dude, I don't remember.
Oh, I got you then.
I'm gonna be James. I'm gonna be upfront with you. When you write your own fucking material 98% of the time, you kind of forget a lot of lines, especially when you're voicing 12 fucking characters on the show.
That is fair.
All of which are done off the top of his head.
Yep, that's fair, Mike.
Nice.
I don't think I've ever done a written promo.
That is fair.
So the line he comes back with is, "I'll join you in hell."
He flips him off. He does a 4-strike combo. Then he gets him in position for the last ride. We call it the execution bomb because he's the executioner, Michael X.
All three of us flip our shit.
We are trying to get out of the way as we know our table is about to get obliterated.
In kayfabe, that is.
And he gets thrown powerbomb style through the top. Or from the top of the cage, through the damn table, and it sounded like a bomb went off in the arena. And I mixed it so well that it sounded like it was a freaking car wreck on I-95. I even used, complete with even the Mick Foley iconic table crash, along with 15 other crashing sound effects. It sounded mwah. And Colleen's response was, "Oh my God!"
And on commentary,
she was
we're
shocked.
Silent. We are silent. And on commentary, we're silent for like 5 seconds.
Because we couldn't believe what we saw. It was insane. And that was, by the way, how we crowned our first champ. And to me, that was like the biggest yes moment right there. It was probably those 3 moments. That's what I'm most proud of, is seeing my friends like see this stuff and be like, wow, this is fucking cool, and given those reactions.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
Can I add on to this as well before we move on to the next question?
Go ahead.
I've got 2 favorite moments really that really have to do with people's reactions. The biggest one is by now we all know I play Mark Young. In the lead up to Immortal, Mike and I have this 7-minute epic of a promo for this match. I remember quite vividly looking over at Colleen and Lillian and specifically seeing Colleen's reaction when I dropped the fucking line.
Oh, when you went and... how did I forget that? Yeah, so...
She went whiter than an 80s goth.
Bro, Wade, he went full Bobby Spade with it, and he didn't even know who Bobby was at the time. He fucking went in. And we're talking like if Bobby Spade wasn't full-on comedian, but like full-on badass heel, Harley Race kind of wrestler. He said, when I'm finished ensuring that you are left crawling on your hands and knees, begging me to stop crying for all you're worth, I'm gonna claim your side bitch for my own, who literally the match before just became the Athena champion. And she went nuts. Like, what the fuck? Why would you say that? I'm like, you'll see why. Then she saw the execution bomb through the table.
And she went, oh my god, I get it.
She got wrestling in that one moment right there. She never watched wrestling in her fucking life. Ever.
How fucking long, by the way, was that main event? It's been a while.
That was almost a
48 minutes.
From bell to bell. From bell to bell, it was almost a 45-minute match.
Because it was 2 out of 3 false Hell in a Cell, which is the better way to do a long-ass Hell in a Cell match like that.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah. The other thing.
Go ahead.
The other thing I want to. I know. But the other thing I want to say before we move on to the next question. James always talks about that the way you know you've done a good job is when you hook the casual fan. I'm not 100% sure I agree with that. The way I personally can tell that we've done something great is if we hook the jaded fan.
Yes.
When
That's
somebody when somebody who has seen it all, has been a wrestling fan all their life, looks at your product and they go, oh my god, what the hell am I watching? This is incredible. That's when I know we're on to something here.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Damn right. Next question.
I'm with you on that one, man.
I think we all can agree that sentiment. Next question, Casey.
Next question. Wade, we'll start with you here. In hindsight, what would you change about the way your CAW league was made?
The way it was made? Fuck, there could be like a lot of different ways that I can run with that. In terms of, I don't know, roster I used, commentary, production, storylines, distribution.
Just anything that comes to mind.
Like regrets?
Not necessarily regrets.
Yeah.
But looking back on it with hindsight being 2020, with more knowledge now of what you were doing during that time, what do you look back on and think, oh, I could have done this way, and it would have been so much either better or easier on myself back then?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, easy. I would have bought Adobe Premiere in 2004 instead of 2006. Yep. That's right there.
Fair. That's fair.
Because I think by the time 2006 came around, and I mean, maybe it could also be the combination of that's when I started using Premiere, and then SVR 2006 came out, which was such a great game. But I do think that production, when I started using Premiere and it was a little easier and I could do a lot more stuff, add more visual effects than I could have ever dreamed to have done on Movie Maker. That's when I really started to have fun with it. That's when I started throwing in like the special effects for my intros, like the All-American Brawl, having the electricity between Hulk Hogan and Babe Ruth, and that promo. I popped myself on some of the stuff that I did with that program. So yeah, that's probably it right there. I probably would have synced in a little bit of money.
You and Aaron fucking went crazy when it came to Premiere Pro. I gotta give you guys credit too. Nuts.
Well, yeah, like the first year of CAW, Rift was on Movie Maker, and then I remember by September or October, whenever Day of Reckoning came out, I remember he had enough money at that time. He bought a brand new Mac, and he started using Final Cut for no DQ.
Yeah, he used Final Cut. You used Premiere.
Yeah, and that was a big change for him. And I remember the tipping point. I still remember like it was yesterday. The reason why he did that was like a month before that. There was a video that came out
about the
behind
WWE,
the scenes.
Yeah, Velocity.
WWE, yeah, using Final Cut for Velocity, and he was like, "I gotta have that program."
Yep, that's fair.
And I was a Mac guy in the early '90s. I had a Mac Performa, like it's fucking old school right there. But when I was in the hospital in '99 after my back surgery, my dad had bought me a compact Presario and it had Windows 98 on it.
Yeah.
From then on, I was a Windows guy. So like I didn't, I wanted a Mac. They were just too fucking expensive at the time too.
They're still too fucking expensive.
Yeah.
You kidding?
Yeah, exactly. But with Windows and having Windows 98 and then going on to XP, which XP to this day is still one of the greatest fucking OSs. But yeah, I was a Windows guy, so I had Movie Maker was already built into it, and I was like, this is good shit right here. It's free, I don't have to spend money. But it's kind of like it's the same thing with me in the podcasting, because for the longest time when I did podcasting back in the early 2000s, and I've been doing podcasting since before the iPod came out, by the way.
Yeah.
The way I would do things, I would jimmy things together. I went to Radio Shack. I got those little mic splitters, and we had like 3 headsets plugged into these things with a stick mic, and the stick mic was over the speakerphone of a landline that I had. And then we did our shows live and had the guests call in, and I had an 800 number and all that stuff. If I would have thought about it then, it wasn't until 2012, 2013, I bought a mixing board and condenser mics.
Right.
And that changed the game. Yeah. And that's the equivalent of, in 2006, I bought Adobe Premiere. And I was like, there's more that I could do with this than just CAW. That's I started that show, Rage TV at the time, which was like the opposite of like what Rift was doing with XMV. I was like, okay, I could do the same thing. Me and my buddies, we did our own fucking video show, Rage TV, for a while. And like, I just started really, really producing a lot of content between 2006 and when did I took a short break in like 2008. But yeah, Premiere.
That's fair. I probably would kind of going in line with your thinking. I would have, if I could have, I would have probably, when it comes to CAW specific, I probably would have gone with getting Power Director 13 earlier. I don't know if it would have been Power Director 13 by that point though. And I know 12 has less features. I have seen 12 now. I know it has less features. But I use Cyberlink Power Director, and it was really good because I really started learning these effects, and I think that really helped the quality of my show. That's how I learned chroma key and all that stuff. Like, had it not been getting for Cyberlink Power Director 13, I don't think the show would be where the fuck it's at right now. Honest to God, it really wouldn't be.
Absolutely not.
There's no way.
I'll tell you right now, from watching James do his stuff, because I'll be upfront. I don't fucking edit shit with the show. I am the do not let me touch that shit whatsoever guy.
I will voice act and I will play matches, but I will not edit. Is his motto.
I will not edit because I cannot harness the James and fucking use his methodology of doing stuff in my own mental capacity.
You'll turn it into 3 Mile Island?
I turn it into fucking the Green Mile, alright?
Oh, jeez.
Death row as soon as you walk in. It's game over.
Yeah.
As soon as you see that line, it's the end.
Yeah.
It's like the drink, but with one E.
No, but it's the major issue that I think that a lot of CAW creators have. It's trying to find the proper software to use their shit.
Or they can't afford the proper software too sometimes.
No, that's also true. Use what you feel is comfortable. Like, try demos and stuff out if you want to buy the full version.
I definitely started with... Mike knows, I started with Windows Movie Maker XP in 2014. And then I moved to Windows 7. And then I tried Premiere Pro, and oh my god, Premiere Pro. I bet you 2004 was probably good, but when it got to 2006 and the advanced versions, it's so hard for me to even try to use now. I honestly think it's probably the least user friendly. Sony Vegas is more user friendly. I'm learning that now. Right now,
I'm glad you brought
Sony
that up.
Vegas
I used
is
Premiere
good.
for a year and a half, but I've been using Sony Vegas since like 2008. Still use it to this day. I haven't even upgraded my Sony Vegas in such a long time. I'm still on Sony Vegas 10.
That's fair. I literally just got out old Sony Vegas. I was able to get it via a friend because he gave me a code because he used to have it and he still had the code and I would be able to get all the shit for free. So I got it and I'm using it now, and that's another freaking editing software I'm going to be using when it comes to my edits. I'm also going to
very user friendly.
Speaking of which, James, why don't you tell Wade how many fucking editing softwares you're using?
Oh, okay, fuck it.
Because to a normal human being,
This would be
it's
insane.
usually one. Usually, it's one and done. No. Why don't you go over the number?
All right. Well, I have it all on my desktop here, so at least it's not hard to find. When it comes,
What she said.
when it comes to thumbnails, Microsoft PowerPoint. I don't use. I actually use an online. Actually, I'll look up the online PNG creator real quick, just so I know the name of it.
I love PowerPoint. In high school, I would make like those old school WWF, like early 90s, like visuals.
Yep.
Where like they would like spin on screen, like the little name bars for like King of the Ring and shit.
Yep.
I used to sit in class and just fucking make those, and people were like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm making name bars, motherfucker. What do you think I'm doing?"
Yeah, exactly. That's what I do. That's literally what I do when it comes to thumbnails and just the show in general. When it comes to actual PNG, I use, if I need a transparent image, I use Capwing. So I use Capwing, Microsoft PowerPoint, and that's just for thumbnails. When it comes to actual editing, I use Audacity, specifically 2.0.2, because that has a G-Burb effect, which is great when it comes to arena effect entrances. I use a PowerSoft audio recorder, which will record my desktop. I use a PowerSoft screen recorder in case I need an alternate method in case we're going to go long with the recording of lines. So that way I can record the volume or the audio just in one separate huge file. And then when it comes to video editing programs, I have Animoto, Cyberlink, PowerDirector 13, now Sony Vegas Pro, Easy Video Maker when it comes to new theme edits coming soon. When it comes to streaming OBS, if we're going via mobile edits, I use Vita, Salad Video, VSO, InShot, Magic Video, iMovie in some cases, and I'm about to invest in Easy Web Video Maker, I believe it's called, and which is really good graphics video editing, and going to invest in getting Filmora 9.
Wow.
Yeah, don't fuck around.
That is your video editing roster is like Sonny's roster, if you know what I mean.
Are you saying that I'm the hoe of video editing programs, Wade? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying that word's weird, but you.
I mean, if we want to get technical about it, I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah.
No, that's cool, man. I mean, that's good. You're a
It's,
jack of all trades with that shit. That's good to put on a resume.
I'm a jack of a lot of different trades on that.
You're a jack of ass sometimes.
That's true. That's very true.
Most days. What the hell are you talking about?
Most days. For sure.
Better to be that than a jack off of all trades.
I mean,
Yeah, right.
Hey, listen.
We'll just say we don't need
Just
to get
just because I go fishing does not make me a masturbator.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But
It just reminded me of a story I could tell, but I would probably.
we're eating
it'd
more.
come after
We're
me.
eating so much time at this point already, which means Casey. Wait, Casey. next question.
Yes. Okay. So
Wait,
this is
did
a
everybody
question.
ask the other question? What was the other question? I just want to make sure.
I think I think Mike gave an answer, but just in case, Mike, what would you change about the way WYW was made?
Ooh.
Easy. Give me more vacation time so we can actually do shit. That's pretty much it.
I agree. Oh yeah, when it comes to
if I
work.
had to choose one, if I had to choose one specific thing to change, it would be how we book, because fuck me, sometimes it's just we need to change.
And we are changing it now because we realize this method wasn't. It's not that it didn't work, but there's an easier way to do it, and we should have done it that way. So now we're doing it that way.
Yeah, that's realization.
Right.
Yeah, that's the realization.
It's called experience, not Experian. Not to be confused with that ad, the weird ad with the purple cow. By John Cena.
John Cena.
What the hell? Why is it a purple cow? Oh wait, because he wore that purple. Oh, I get it. The purple T-shirt.
Company logo. James, it's the company logo. James.
I know it's the company logo, but it's funny that the guy who literally became Fruity Pebbles because of a fucking purple tee is now a part of a logo that has a purple cow. I think there's some irony there. Anyway, Casey, next question.
So, this is a question in two parts. James, I'll go to you first. In hindsight, do you still find enjoyment in watching CAW shows? And what are some highs and lows that come from your own CAW show when watching back from a fan's perspective?
Highs and lows?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to double check on that. When it comes to CAW leagues, yes.
Well, first off, do you still find enjoyment in watching CAW leagues?
Yes. There are a couple that I do watch. There is obviously Wade's on occasion when I can catch it, just when I'm not like super busy or, just taking in wrestling knowledge because I'm always trying to learn more because I'm a fanatic for the shit. I will admit I am a mark, as you would say, but I will definitely check out Wade's. Obviously, there's also another one. I don't know if any of you heard of this, but it's called FAM, Forever a Movement. That's some good shit. Like, they go ham on that. I like FAM, and they actually use the new nowadays games, and they know how to work with that stuff. Props to them. They have a really good production over there. So give a shout out to Forever a Movement, FAM. I believe their biggest event, their SummerSlam. Listen to me. Their WrestleMania is, I believe, called CyberSlam. It's not the best name, but they make it a big ass show. So definitely go check it out if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. So highs and lows from WIW from a fan's perspective when you watch it.
Highs and lows. The highs, pretty much from the Gold Rush tournament onward, because we just kept getting higher and higher and higher and higher in a good way. Not don't do drugs, kids. I'm bad, okay?
Shut up, Mr. Mackey. You know you pound Xanax before you go to school every morning.
That's the only way I can get through the day, okay? So we got higher and higher when it comes to like actual production, and the matches were just getting great as time went on. So love the Gold Rush series as a whole. Probably my favorite season of WYW out of the two we did. The lowest of the lows is the test match season. Probably the beginning of the Gold Rush tournament as well, only for personal reasons, but I will not get into that. But if we're talking strictly for content, test match series. Oh god, test match series was wank. Fucking terrible. Kill it with fire some days. I look at that, but I don't delete them because I realize I look at them and I'm like, you know what? It's a historic thing that we learn from, so I don't want to get rid of it.
Yeah.
But as far as like quality, man, yeah. It's like vomiting diarrhea on a screen. I'll be real. That's how I felt about my contact back then. Looking at it from this current moment right now, like, I'm sure if I get advanced and I'm still doing this in like 5 years from now, I'm going to look at what I did back then and be like, well, this was great for the time, but it's crap compared to what we're doing now, 5 years into the future, I'm sure. You know, that's just comes with the nature of evolving, you know, with everything, but that would probably be...
If we're doing this, if we're doing this 5 years into the future and I'm still around, do me a favor, stop working on the show.
Right. Probably will.
No.
Probably will. I'm hoping we can just get to the freaking goal we had and just stop there, which is the plan anyway. But that said, I'm sure Mike would probably agree with my assessment. I don't think there's highest of the highs and lowest of the lows. I think I covered the bases pretty well. No.
I'd probably say the highest of the highs was going to PAX East and fucking handing our stuff out.
That's fair.
Especially when fucking Xavier Woods out of all.
Oh yeah, how do we forget about that? Yeah, the fact that we promoted it to Xavier Woods, Simon Miller, in the course of a week, by the way. Yeah.
So, Xavier Woods, Simon Miller, Adam Pacini,
Tyler Brady.
And
Adam Cleary specifically, because.
Adam Cleary. Wrong Adam.
There's too many Adams in UK freaking wrestling YouTube. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, we promoted it to a bunch of different people. Tyler Breeze, Ty Dillinger, aka Sean Spears, they got it too. Ember Moon as well.
Ember Moon got it as well.
So people know, man. Like that was cool.
Yep.
That was really, really fucking cool. The 2-week period between PAX East weekend and WrestleMania weekend was nuts. 2019, by the way.
And if I had to say the lowest of the lows, the fucking day we lost all of our original
consoles. Oh, yeah.
A red ring of death.
No.
Nope, it wasn't a red ring of death. Somebody... Okay, so we're doing our local... We're doing our fucking stuff.
I think I told this story on part 1, though.
Probably. We had some fucking douche schnozzle come out of nowhere. God, I never expected to use that word today. Come out of nowhere and delete all of our shit off that console.
Actually corrupted one of our files, and that's how everything got deleted.
Which was fun. All of our shit was gone in about a day, and I'm like, that's
Except
great.
for the logos. The logos somehow were saved.
Don't know how that works, but whatever.
I was like, at least we had that, and we had to start from scratch all over again. It took us a year, I think, to build everything back up.
That sucks,
dude,
man.
It was awful.
It's a learning experience.
Although the bright side of that is our character designs came out way better, because if I stuck with the original character designs, oof. No. Anyway. That's fair, Mike. I actually probably would go with your assessment more than mine. That was probably the highest of highs and lowest of lows.
The lowest of lows was when I fell and got stuck under the table. The highest of highs is when I smoked a bone in the back of my trailer.
And it all happened.
It was
great.
It
all happened at Lowe's.
At the same time. I fell down the stairs and then I fell in a trailer hitch.
At Lowe's. It all happened at Lowe's.
At Lowe's.
All at Lowe's.
It all happened at Lappin's.
No, Lowe's. It has to be Lowe's. You said highs and lows. Happened at a Lowe's home improvement warehouse.
Speaking of fucking stupid shit, because I just had that realization today. My boss comes into the fucking store.
Not Tim.
And he goes, "Oh, I got a new stapler for the store." And I look at it, and I'm like, "Why do I recognize it? It's a red stapler." I'm like, "Why the fuck is this hitting so hard for me?" And I don't know why. And then within a second, I thought of Office Space in about a minute.
It was Office Space.
I immediately wish that Ghetto Boys fucking still
started playing.
So I could beat that
all we needed was a printer.
So I can. We got that Hapog that we're gonna beat the shit out of at some point.
Oh, it's gonna be so good to retire that thing on a more permanent.
No. It's not going retired case. We're gonna bury the fucking thing
in the grave. We'll have a memorial.
It can never harm anyone again.
Yeah.
With that, whatever the next question is, Case, just continue.
Well, I got to pass it to Wade first.
Right.
So, Wade, do you Wade, do you still find enjoyment in watching CAW?
I think he answered this.
Yeah, here and there. They're gems. I know one league in particular that I do enjoy watching from time to time is ACW. I think Hakeem does a phenomenal job with that.
The African Dream.
Yeah. Obviously, I mean, your guys' stuff, catches my eye as well. Nick Gemini, he does some pretty good stuff as well. But yeah, like I said, there's bits and pieces that I watch here and there, and nothing has made me turn my head in disgust. There's always a little smirk here and there, and be like, that's cool. I like what they did there. So it's always good to see that.
That's fair. You will be happy to know I literally just subscribed to ACW just now, because anything that Wade watches, I'm gonna watch.
Yeah, they got a really good, not just like production, which is like really top notch stuff, but thoroughly thought out storylines. The way they present a lot of stuff, the way that he promotes the league on social media too. Like, he has got a phenomenal model on how he drives his league.
I'm gonna try to follow his model. Then I'm gonna probably ask him for some advice, or just kind of observe what he does. That said, I also I'd be remiss if I did not shout out the boys from Triple Threat Promotions, which runs a shit ton of CAW leagues under one conglomerate, which we are also a part of, so definitely check them out as well. We'll leave a link in the description for their WordPress account.
Yep.
So there's one that I forgot to mention too, and I can't believe I fucking forgot to mention this, but anything that fucking New Legacy does, those
New
guys
Legacy
are
Wrestling
geniuses,
is one of them.
man.
Yeah, New Legacy Wrestling is one of the people in Triple Threat Promotions. Yeah.
Oh, dude, fucking Johnny
Yeah.
and all them, man. Like, those guys, dude, fucking Joe. Shout out to Johnny.
Shout
man.
out to Johnny,
my
absolutely,
boy, bro.
yeah. That guy's a fucking
awesome.
workhorse in CAW for sure.
I fucking love that guy, dude. He's fucking, I mean that in a non-prison movie type of way.
Shout out to
But-
Zero as well, who's a part of Triple Threat Promotions. He's fucking funny, so.
Yeah. Fucking great. God damn, I fucking love tuning into fucking New Lake. And they do a lot of really good charity work too, like the Canadian Cancer Society fundraisers they
go
work
nuts.
with.
Love New Legacy.
Yeah, a shit ton of respect to New Legacy, man.
If we're talking about CAW videos, which is how CAW kind of started, that genre still exists. CAW music videos. Highly recommend you check out the channel Akumaku.
AKU, and so Akumaku is a little guy on YouTube who really deserves so much more praise, because what he's been doing, and this is the part that makes me go, holy fuck, I've completely forgot these characters exist, is he's taking old WCW, NWO Revenge fucking
We're talking
wrestlers that are in
We're
these
talking
names.
Aki Man, Hanzo Mon,
Uchiteka,
like these
Maya
Maya
Inca
Inca
Boy.
these characters that were like obscure, like way back in the day in these games.
And he's redoing them and redesigning them in the current 2K20 engine, and they look fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, he goes.
Nice.
Like, his work is fantastic. His video production is off the goddamn chart.
It's like next level shit that I want to follow. I'm literally learning his editing style, and I'm going to implement it into my shows going forward. In fact, that's his channel. There it is. Akumaku's on the FTW.
Okay, I was just about to ask if you could
Yep.
send me a link somewhere on there, but yeah, I'll check that out in a little bit.
They're short, by the way. The videos are like less than about.
Yeah, they're full on
probably
music
about 5
videos.
minutes.
If you like the Jason Voorhees music videos back in the day, you'll fucking love these. I'm telling you, you'll love the quality on these. Like, he goes
All right.
nuts.
It's good shit. It's good shit.
All right, well, let me ask you this: Do you think it might inspire me to fucking jump back into doing CW full time again?
That I don't
would
know. That'll be
say
on
that.
you.
Because you
I
brought
wouldn't
up the
say
Jason
that.
Voorhees videos, and those were the ones I saw those, and I said I'm gonna fucking one up the motherfucker, and I started.
That's fair. I don't know.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, if it,
I don't know. That's a whole thing because
yeah,
I'm excited now.
That'll be up to
It's-
you, honestly.
it's one thing to see like a music video. The way that I would describe Akumaku's fucking style is he shows the character's whole fucking history and he gives background. If you go into like the description, you're able to see like the actual strategy guides for these games, what they had for like the backstory of all these people and shit like that. It's
Like
Okay.
for
Like,
example, Puchteka, he's one of Onita's students.
Hanzo Mom, one of Hayabusa's students, the great Hayabusa students.
Oh,
Also
holy
learned
shit!
under great Sasuke.
I just clicked subscribe. I realized I'm those 300 subscribers.
Hey, there you go.
Hey, nice.
300 subs right there.
That's awesome.
And I guarantee you, Akumaku has to know you. There's no way he doesn't, or at least has heard of you. I know he's.
Speaking
He's
of
probably heard of No DQ. Probably not me though.
Well, you were the
speaking of
voice.
stuff, hold on. I'm gonna throw this in chat.
Yeah,
I
well,
gotta
it's
throw this
two
in
different
the
things.
Chat at least once.
Go ahead, yeah,
Give
throw
me
it in.
just a second.
While he throws that in, Casey, try. Did everybody? You had Wade answer the question, right? Or
I had him answer the first part of the question. Wade, highest of highs and lowest of lows from your own CAW from a fan's perspective?
Oh wow. I could tell you right now the lowest of lows without hesitation. There was a short period of time I hired. I hate using the word hire because it's not a company, it's not a business. But I had a guy do commentary for Slam and Jam for a couple months, and the biggest regret ever. To this day, I mean, this was like back in 2005.
right.
But to this day, I regret this immensely. This is the biggest black eye to anything I've ever done online, was having this guy on commentary, because this guy would throw in a lot of very overt racist lines in his commentary.
I'm so sorry.
And I allowed that to be published. And that's what really pisses me off, is like, I don't know what kind of mind frame I was in at the time, but I think back, I look at my video library, and when I get to that portion of Slam and Jam's history, I just turn my fucking head, and I'm like, why? Why did I put this guy on the mic, and why did I even let this shit see the light of day?
Yeah, I mean,
That's the lowest
that's
low
fair.
for me.
I mean,
I completely understand
it's
that.
fucking
I
bad.
mean,
Yeah.
I get that.
not to fucking toot our own horns, but yeah, I will say as a league, you gotta do some fucking up when it comes like that. You can't let it happen.
I mean,
I regret that.
yeah,
so
like
bad
we're
right
not
now.
we're not definitely we're definitely not perfect when it comes to our commentary by any means, but I don't think we've said any overt racist shit, full on.
Yeah.
At least not by conscious
Yeah.
choice.
Well, definitely even without conscious choice. I think the worst thing we've ever said was probably, "You stopped that short yellow bus, but we're speds and we were actually on the short yellow bus." So I mean, it was kind of like a dig on us on commentary in a show that was made by the sped kids on the short yellow bus. So it was like, makes.
Well, with stuff like that, I wouldn't look at that as anything bad. I mean, how many wheelchair jokes have I ever popped
Exactly.
in commentary, right? There's probably somebody in a wheelchair listening to that doesn't even know I'm in a wheelchair is going to look at that as being offensive, and I'm going to be like, I'm not tackling anyone else that's in a wheelchair. It was a reflection of my own self that I threw the joke out there.
Which is exactly how comedy should
Exactly.
work.
Oh well, yeah, exactly. That's how Chris Farley fucking.
How do
got
we get
over.
back on the right track? Casey. Next question. That's how we get back on the right track. Hey, segue! I did it!
You
Woohoo!
son of a
Chris
bitch.
Farley would be proud.
You son of a bitch. Okay. So, James, we'll start with you here. What do you believe is the legacy of your CAW league?
Wow. It's hard to say because in a way we kind of have just started. And we're going to really just start when it comes to our first full year in 2023. 52 weeks of content is going to be a whole different animal. So I don't know what our legacy is going to be with that.
I hope it's a new legacy.
Ha ha! Nice little segue. Yeah, it all ties in. But I guess our legacy currently is that, it's weird. I guess. Go for it.
I got it.
Yeah.
No, I got it.
Probably have better words than I can freaking say for this.
All right. Our legacy is evolution.
Yeah. There you go.
Because if you see how we start off, which is just fucking garbage, it's absolute hot shit. The first test match is very obvious that we're trying to figure stuff out, pacing and things like that, and you go to the last match of Immortal, that 45-minute fucking brawl, you see that evolution over time of how it's like, yeah, two morons
now
that
three.
Four morons that have no idea how to write a fucking story. For God's sakes, have a tough time figuring out how to order fucking food.
Legitimately, this was us when we first started, and to come to where we were, where we did a whole 8-hour show that was filled with stories all over the place, with the exception of maybe 2 matches.
Honestly, if I may, I would say that is our legacy. If the content is good and engaging, length of a show, while it should still be taken into consideration, is nowhere near as important as most people make it out to be.
Yeah, it all comes down to, okay, you have this allotted time. How do you make the maximum effort around this allotted time? How do you take this allotted time, however long it is, it could be 2, 3, 8 hours, whatever the freaking time slot is, and how do you maximize that to the best of your ability? Don't make the quality suffer because of the quantity you have. Make the quality good to justify the quantity, whatever quantity that is.
If you can make a fucking show for 30 minutes, you can make a show for an hour. If you can make a show for an hour, go an hour and a half. Try 2 hours. See how long you can get up to till you go, all right, I hit my point. I'm not doing it after this. I'm a allotted amount of time.
If I had to really, really think of another legacy bit to it, I say our legacy is, 3 autistic kids who were told we never make it in life. We were doomed from the start, pretty much. That's what we were told. Or throughout life we were bullied, or harassed, or whatever.
Who hasn't?
Exactly.
Who hasn't?
Or harassed, or told they weren't going to make it, and that maybe they should think of a different option in life, or that this was useless stuff, useless entertainment. Which, by the way, don't get me wrong, all of this is materialistic, especially the hobby shit. But we took that as fuel, used it to make this. I think WIW is more than, in a way, than just a show. It's where the island of misfits came together, created something fucking magical as a group.
WIW. WIW, the island of misfit
Legit,
toys.
People that were cast aside. Every single person was told they had these ailments that would hold them back for the rest of their lives, and that show proved that theory dead in the fucking water. That's our fucking show legacy more than anything else, in my opinion. We said, you don't think we can make it, fucking watch us. I'll take a quote here from Paul Heyman. I know this is going to make me sound egotistical, but it's not really about me. It's about everybody in this show. Fuck you, you're wrong. Fuck you, we're right. That's our legacy.
The rallying
That's
of
our
the
legacy.
troops.
Rallying of the troops right there.
Wade, I throw it to you. What do you believe is your CAW League's legacy?
I like the idea of throwing out a quote. I'll throw out a quote from Shawn Michaels. I'm going to go out there every night. I'm going to put on the greatest show that you've ever seen. Why? Because I can't. No, I'm joking. I'm not that arrogant. Anyway. Although I will say this, like, arrogance aside, that is one of my favorite quotes, because it's one thing when you throw something out there like that and people are like, God damn this motherfucker. But when you go out there and you fucking prove it, like, that's a whole different thing. And Shawn Michaels fucking proved it. Asshole aside in the 90s or not, he fucking proved it. But anyway, my legacy of I guess I'm going to have two answers for this. One, my legacy of my involvement in No DQ CAW, and then my legacy of running Slam and Jam. Because as long as I've ran Slam and Jam, I would say it's probably like a 75-25 rule, where 75% people know me from No DQ, 25% know me from Slam and Jam. I mean, to call a spade a spade, right? No DQ is a huge fucking audience. My involvement in No DQ CAW, I think my legacy at the time, because I'm pretty sure from, like, I don't know, show 1 on, there's been like probably a plethora of fucking people that have went above and beyond. But I would like to think, since I was, I guess, really the first, I would like to think that my legacy was setting the bar of how to do commentary for CAW.
Agreed.
Yeah. Yeah, you absolutely, yes.
I think, especially in the early days there, I think a lot of other leagues, I think, may have, like, looked or heard, you know, and said, all right, maybe we can do a little bit of that, and we're going to throw a spin on it. But there was some influence there. With everything, like, my biggest, I don't know why, but I've had so many people come up to me and tell me what my influences were, and I'm like, no, you're wrong. And the one constant about that was everybody's always saying, you're trying to be JR. I'm like, JR is not even, like, with all due respect to JR, I love his commentary. He's not anywhere near an influence to me on commentary. My two biggest influences on commentary, believe it or not, are Gorilla Monsoon and Vince McMahon.
I'm not shocked by that at all.
No, that makes a lot of sense.
And then for Bobby Spade, the biggest influence was the Jerky Boys in the fucking 90s.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I mean, Jerky Boys and Pauly Shore.
It's very obvious with the fucking McMahon thing as soon as you think about it, because of how many times. This is not a critique. This is absolutely just a call up. How many fucking times do you say, unbelievable?
Exactly. Or,
it's almost like, every fucking episode.
99% of commentators out there will always call this one spot, say, there's an Irish whip, comes off the ropes or whatever, right? I like to go the Vince route. They shot him off, comes off the turnbuckle, sent for the ride. You know, stuff like that. No, I've never heard any other commentator but Vince say something like sent for the ride. Or one of my favorite Vince-isms that I fucking love doing, and oh my God, I used to piss off Matt Sinister. But I did it because if I can, it was just a habit, but I also liked it because it pissed him off. And that is always the greatest thing, is you try to, you little jabs at each other while working, this kind of keeps you alive, right?
Yeah. It's a rib. It's what we call in the
ribbon on the square.
Yeah, I mean, a little beyond the rib, though. I mean, this was a constant thing for years. It was a serial rib.
Yeah, it's called a long-term rib, I thought. No?
Yeah. An ongoing rib.
But the one thing I would do is somebody would go for the cover, and I'd always do that Vince thing. 1, 2, and all near fall. You know, where when everyone else is like, 1, 2, kick out. Okay, here we go. But Vince would always do that long, drawn-out 1, 2, until he knew there was the kick out, and he'd be like, kick out. Or he would do the...
I think...
Shawn Michaels and I'm coming to... No.
Yeah, he would go up to a peak, and then, boom, bring it right back down to normal. And Shawn Michaels now with Bret the Hitman Hart, Irish whipping it out, and a clothesline. Like, he would get you to that point, and then just like, before you come, he'd stop. So that was like...
Vince had his mannerisms.
Exactly.
Yes,
sure.
like, I totally
big
get it.
thing.
And again, with commentary, it's like, be an individual, Try what you feel feels right. That's like the big one.
I gotta say, in relation to the Vinceism with the whole 1, 2, and no, I think the person that's probably mastered it the best, because he was so good at this. He's still so good at this. Mauro Ranallo.
Agreed.
Literally, he can hold you like this is definitely the end of the match. It was no more evident than I think NXT TakeOver New York, when Adam Cole hits the last shot. You honest to God think on commentary that's gonna be it, and he did like Johnny Gargano. His leg is hooked, not this way, and he kicked out. He went what? And I just went. Wow! I honest to God,
you went full
thought
Don.
that might have been the end.
You went full Don West at that moment.
I lost my mind. I was there live, but I had to watch it.
Don't start going with the Don Westisms. Jesus Christ. If I have to hear his eyes are glazed over like a couple of donuts, I'll fucking lose it. I swear to God.
I remember Jerry Lawler used to say that a lot in the 90s.
It's...
I love the Jerry Lawlerisms. One of my favorite, I think it was SummerSlam 96. And Ahmed didn't wrestle then. I think he was out by then. But he said something about Ahmed, one of those Raws in 96. He said, Ahmed Johnson is the idiot that planted Cheerios thinking they were donut seeds. And that line has always stuck with me because that is just a genius insult.
Yeah, Jerry and Bobby Heenan, probably neck and neck when it comes to full-on insults.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like,
just
Heenan especially.
Yeah.
Just don't touch Heenan's neck or he has a fit.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
While we're shouting people out, can I just shout out Mike Tenay, Tony Schiavone, and Jim Ross?
Yeah, that's fair.
You know, I owe a lot to Mike Tenay. In 2003, I emailed him and I was like, hey, I was wondering if I can get you on my podcast to do an interview. And he was like, I'm busy over the next 2 months, but here's the phone number to Trifecta Entertainment. Call them up, let them know that I sent you, and you get hooked up. So I would thought myself, like, I don't know, I guess I call them up and schedule an interview for 2 months from now, right? I call them up, I name drop Mike Tenay, and they're like, all right, we're going to put you on the TNA media list, and we'll get you a guest on your podcast every Friday. Who do you want first? And they gave me a list of like 5 people. And for 2 years straight, every Friday, I had a TNA personality on my podcast. And that was thanks to Mike Tenay.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah, and then that's when they started transitioning to their the media conference calls at the end of 2005. I believe the first one they had was Christian Cage that December. Then they had Sting in January.
Oh, you know who was on these? I don't know if you know these names. Bill and Doug, RVD Tito for life. I remember these calls just because of them. They were on one of these calls. That's crazy.
I kind of developed like a gimmick on those calls, like towards like the middle of them doing that. I was always known as the guy that would ask the fucked up questions. Like Scott Steiner was on there, so like I'd have 3 questions for him, and like one of them was, what was it like to get a lap dance from Stacy Keibler on Raw? And he would be like, oh, dude, it was fucking fantastic. He would go into that, and then I'd be like, so what store can I buy a Steiner recliner in?
That's a good man right there, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a good man.
And I'd ask him, where can I buy a Steiner recliner? What store? Like, is it in the fucking mattress warehouse? Like, where, you know?
Yes.
When Kevin Nash was on there, I asked Nash, I was like, yo, man, I'm just going to go ahead and say this because I don't think anybody else has the balls to say it, but you fucking rocked Super Shredder. And he's like, fuck yeah, man. Like, he fucking dropped the F-bomb on the call, and it was good shit, you know?
Until TNA probably got a hold of it and was like, why are you guys swearing on the podcast?
I was also one of the guys that kind of made them get real fucking firm on, like, you can only ask these people one question, because I'd always ask, like, 3 or 4.
That's fucking hilarious. I love that. That's the good on you, bro. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Let's is there anything else that you want to actually end off on a quote or whatever your legacy will be? I think that was the original question, and then we tangent it again.
Well, yeah, that was, all of that was a connection to the legacy for my involvement in No DQ. But I think my legacy for Slam and Jam is people watch that and say, this is what I don't want to do.
Yeah.
This is what I should not do because it didn't fucking get over. No, I don't know, man. I would like to think.
I enjoy Slam and Jam. Fuck you.
I think Slam and Jam is fucking out there. Like I experimented a lot with a lot of things from a production standpoint, and storylines and commentary and characters and all kinds of shit. Huh?
And mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
Nice.
You
I
see
can
that guy on
fucking
speed? I
hear.
don't think so.
I can hear colors while I do commentary.
I don't know. Maybe you could have been on speed.
I could have, a lot of people asked me that over the years too. Like my younger years, I was so fucking hyper, and I obviously wasn't on anything. It wasn't much later I was starting to get into like the Red Bulls, but that was like 2008. But like my early days, man, like 2003 to like 2006, 2007, like I just had a natural fucking like beyond Don West fucking sugar rush almost. And I kind of miss those days because now I'm more like JR is right now, where I can kind of like, lounge right on in. I can still do what you need me to do, but I'm going to do it at my own pace that makes sense. And I think,
and I agree.
Obviously,
and by the way, I think people need to quit getting on JR's case for that. In my opinion, this is ridiculous.
The last 2 to 3 years have been a very, very hard time for JR in his personal life. And
I think it started.
I'm just glad he's still around.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I would probably say it started with poor Jan.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
He loved her so much,
Yeah.
And I remember like when his wife passed, I thought, man, that's really got to be rough. But I didn't get it at the time too. I was real hard on him. I was like, man, he really went downhill. But considering the things that I've personally gone through in the last 3 years, losing both of my brothers, most recently at the end of April, lost my oldest brother, Anthony. I get it, that losing somebody that you love so much, whether it's a sibling, a parent, spouse, it takes a toll on you. On top of anything else that you've had, the Bell's palsy, he's had that. That he's had to deal with. I know with me, being in a wheelchair since I was 15, this year, health-wise, has not been the greatest to me. There's still things that I'm still dealing with that are spanning back to like February, March of this year. I'm getting a little bit better with it. Point in case, like fucking how long we've been doing this one compared to part one. You're way more animated and excited and because
not as hurt.
I've kind of gotten a little bit of a handle on some of the stuff going on. I still don't even know what the fuck is wrong with me right now. I don't want to get into details with it, but there's things that I'm dealing with right now, but I definitely am a lot better place than I was at the end of March. And, that takes a toll on you, especially if you have to travel. Like when he was traveling, after all that stuff going on, like, dude, I get it, man. And I have a lot of respect for Jim Ross in that aspect.
Absolutely. Have a tremendous amount of respect that he's still going at a high level, maybe not the same as he's used to be, but the fact that after all the shit he has gone through.
In the past 5 years.
He's still going, and he's still in a major broadcasting network commentating pro wrestling.
Yep.
Even if he doesn't agree with all of it, he enjoys it. He loves it. He gets along with everybody. He's even said, "This is the happiest he's ever been. Is going to work."
He's following the advice that he gave me in 2014 at Cauliflower Alley Club when I asked him, "Do you have any advice for an up and coming commentator?" And he simply looked at me and said, "Have fun with it." And that's what he's doing.
And he's having a fucking great time.
He is.
And you could tell JR loves his job. He loves the people he's working with.
He loves wrestling.
No quit. Yeah, he loves wrestling again. That's the sad part. He hated wrestling when he was working for Vince, unfortunately. That's a shame, There was a point in time. I wouldn't say he hated wrestling. He said it was like, the words he said, what was it? Love and hate relationship. Like it's a cruel mistress, he said.
People in the entertainment,
in the wrong hands.
People in the entertainment industry, especially in professional wrestling, like the real true, like talented workers, the best comparison I can make to people like them, they're ducks. You ever seen a duck in a pond above water? they're like Cool Hand Luke. Below water, their fins are going 1,000,000 miles a second. But you never know that until you look or until they tell you. So obviously, ducks can't speak, so they can't tell you. But all the shit that JR had to go through, and he still put out the performances that he did over these last couple decades, shows to the true professionalism and the talent that Jim Ross has. And that is something that I extremely admire. It's something I strive to have. And I give him the utmost, largest amount of respect that I could possibly give to somebody. Jim Ross, thank you so much for everything that you've done in this industry.
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
Agreed.
Fucking props to you, my man. Taking life on the chin at almost 70, I believe.
Yep. Many times over.
As you were saying, Mike. As I will say, many people that we have seen go to the fucking dance, but JR is like a DJ. And every time he's on that mic, he's spitting something new that you've never heard anyone ever say. And it makes you go, all right, that's a way to put it.
Absolutely. And JR has done that for eons.
Fucking 40 years.
I love that you went the musical route on that, because JR himself in the past has said the wrestlers create the music, the commentators provide the vocals.
Yep, I remember he said that exactly on the Ross Report back when he was still doing that.
Yeah.
And the audience is just a beat of the drum.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because percussion is the fucking heartbeat of a fucking music. So it's a great analogy there with the audience.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I think that's a great way to probably close it out. I think that's the legacy of not just Slam and Jam, No DQ, WYW, and CAW wrestling, but pro wrestling as a whole, really. And I think it sums it down right to that. Honest to God. Everything you guys just kind of covered right there. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for tuning in to this Wade Needham podcast special. If you are new here and a fan of Wade Needham and you liked what you heard us talk about and ramble on about, again, make sure you subscribe, hit that like button, leave a comment of what you thought about today's Wrestling with Idiocy podcast, and please make sure you check out everybody from the FTW Productions banner. And Wade is kind of an affiliate in a way. I think it's kind of funny how everything kind of came together, and we kind of talked about it in this podcast, but now we're going to be helping him out. He'll be helping us out whenever he wants to help us out, or whenever he can help us out. And we'll have him on here hopefully a lot more often. However, in an hour's time, we will be concluding this saga when it comes to Wade Needham, this 3-part podcast saga. But before we do, here's one more ad break. You gotta love it.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Indie Force fans of all ages. I am Luke Lynch, Commander of the Legion, and if you have not already, check out my adventure vlog series over on my channel. Grant you, it's not the most often updated series. It's definitely far from frequently updated. But when it is updated, it's good times, geeky, nerdy, and fun times all around with cool geeks from all walks of life. For example, YouTubers, content creators, Twitch streamers, you name it, I've got it, all on The Adventures of Luke Lynch, which you can find on my channel. Subscribe, like, comment, watch, share, do the whole thing under the umbrella of For the Win Productions. Future James, take it away with that outro.
If you like the content that you saw today, make sure you check out For the Win Productions and subscribe to the affiliates of this conglomerate. A Simple Man Studios, Insanity Works Studios, Genelee's Beauty Slam, J. Hebert Studios, Wrestling Fortune 44 Incorporated, Owen the Talkinator Studios, and of course, Weymouth Youth Wrestling. All in the J. Hebert Side 95 modules. Subscribe today.
So
got a question for you guys. I see in your Discord on offline there's somebody with the nickname of Kid Dynamite.
Oh, Kyle Weaver.
Yes, Kyle Weaver.
Please tell me.
Wrestler on the show.
Please tell me that he is a Mike Tyson fan. Please don't tell me that was just unintentionally ironic that he picked that fucking name.
That would be. I was the one that gave him the nickname, good sir. That's not.
I think it was a play on the. It was actually more of a play on the Dynamite Kid, but we didn't.
Okay, all right. Fuck, I was getting excited. I was like a Tyson fan.
No, he's Dynamite because he moves fast and hits hard. So you can. That's fair. You
like
can relate it to Titus's.
Yeah, and for the record, I believe. For the record, Mike, I believe, is a Mike Tyson fan. So
I am fucking listen. Iron Mikey Tyson, who hits so hard that even walls cringe. It is one of the greatest heavyweight champions of all time. And
still the youngest ever in history, I believe.
If they really wanted to tear down the Berlin Wall, all they had to do was call Mike Tyson.
I don't know if any of you guys were watching anything I did with Slam and Jam 2 years ago, but there's a run that I did when I gave Mike Tyson the title belt, right?
Yep.
And I had a couple of guys chase him and whatnot. And before that, like the way he got the belt was beating Kal-El, right, at CW Stock. But Kal-El was the champion going into it. Mike Tyson, I had him win my Royal Rumble. It's going into it. And I took some inspiration from the Mortal Kombat movie that came out in 95. So when I was having Mike Tyson versus Kal-El, all of a sudden when Tyson hits his knockout punch, he's about to win the belt. All of a sudden I had the voiceover come in and saying, test your might,
test your might even better.
the test thing, right? And all of a sudden I had fucking Kal-El do the kip up, and I had him morph into Buster Douglas. It was the one where he says "face your fear." That was the sound effect. Face your fear. He morphed into Buster Douglas. I had Buster Douglas beat the shit out of him for a little bit in the ring. Tyson hits out the knockout punch, and then it was the other one that says face something else, and then I had him transform into Shang Tsung. And so that was the big payoff, was it wasn't really Kal-El the champion the whole time. It was Shang Tsung. And then I had the Mortal Kombat music kick in, the fucking like a little montage, and then Tyson hits the uppercut and wins the belt. So that's a little tie-in there with the whole Mike Tyson thing and the Buster Douglas and being a fucking Tyson fan. I was hoping to pop Tyson fans that night.
Agreed.
That
sounds like good shit. I'm gonna have to check that out.
The only thing that I would change is Buster Douglas into fucking Evander Holyfield, because that's Tyson's hardest fight ever.
Yeah, but Buster Douglas knocked him out. That was the biggest fear for Tyson.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
But Holyfield is the nightmare. You don't get into a fight with Holyfield and you walk out of that going, oh yeah. I can count to 10. I know how many fingers I have on each hand. I can tell you my zip code forward and back.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that...
but I mean... The reason why I went Buster Douglas was the face your fear and the tie-in to the Mortal Kombat thing with Shang Tsung. Remember, Liu Kang had to face his brother.
Yeah.
Watching that scene now, oh my god. Is it the most awkward conversation? Ooh, it's me. No shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, don't you recognize me? Your brother?
You want to talk about like a range of acting? The guy that played Shang Tsung being the fucking grandfather and Johnny Tsunami? Like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Wait, Kara Hiroyuki Tagawa was the friggin' grandfather?
Johnny Tsunami. Mind blown, right? Those movies came out the same year, right? 95, I think.
Or thereabouts.
That's crazy.
That's like Ian McShane being fucking Al Swearingen on Deadwood, and then going on to being Stepfather Frank and fucking Hot Rod.
That's fair.
Yeah.
What a range.
What a range indeed. All right. Well, the next question I have on my list, funnily enough, both James and Wade answered earlier. I was gonna ask what CAWs are around now, if any, that you enjoy watching.
Yeah, we answered that already.
We did.
Go back 20 minutes into the podcast. We will iCard it up here.
Or however long it was.
And we will also put up graphic cards for the CAW leagues that we mentioned right now. Check them all out right there.
Do it.
Do it now.
Do it now.
Do it.
Okay.
I'll do it.
All right. And I think we may have touched on this as well. I think James and Mike answered this one, so I'll throw it to Wade. Do you have a favorite story from behind the scenes of your CAW show?
Oh man, I had to think about that one. No, I guess not really. I mean, when I did Slam and Jam, like it was like 99.9% of the time that was just really all me.
Yeah, that's
there was,
fair.
you know, once in a while I'd have somebody on commentary. You know, I think maybe my buddy DA may have thrown out, you know, a storyline or two. I know there were some storylines that some people threw out that I took in and, you know, obviously chatted it up with them to get an insight behind it. But other than that, I mean, it was just me and there's nothing really. My memory's also really fucking bad with a lot of that kind of shit.
Because it's been a very long time, I'm sure.
It has been, and I, you know, unless it's like something that I guess I would pop really hard for, I probably wouldn't remember.
That is fair. Like your entire feud with you know, yourself and yourself, Bobby Spade and Wade Needham.
You get to kick your own ass.
Like I wouldn't remember what I said on like December 14th, 2004 on Pacific or anything, but I remember.
But you remember the key moment. You remember the cliff notes.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I one little tiny thing. I remember like when Riff would send me over, you know, the clips or segments to do commentary. You know, he'd send over the notes too. And in my fucking ignorance, as I'm reading these bullet points during this segment, it was like a promo that he did with Steve Irwin. And it's like Steve Irwin's celebrating. He's like really trying to draw it out so I can, you know, get my notes in there. And my moron ass fucking ends the segment by saying thank you for the commentaries. That wasn't a fucking bullet point. That was just him thanking me for the commentaries as a little side note in a fucking email, and I read it on the air.
That's fucking funny.
Whoops.
That's a funny moment.
Because I was doing the voice, you know, for Steve Irwin. So that was part of the promo.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So you said it in Steve Irwin's voice. Thank you for the commentaries.
Yeah, I was like, Crocky, thank you for the commentaries. It's horrible shit. I look back and I'm like, wow, jeez. Like, that was my Ron Burgundy moment.
That escalated quickly.
It did. Nobody fucking even got it or called me out on it either. Even Riff, I think it was like a week later, he was like, wait a minute, did you fucking say thank you for the commentaries? And I was like, you edited it. How many times did you listen to it before you fucking rendered it? You didn't pick up on that.
That's fair.
He could have cut it out, and he didn't.
That's amazing.
You know what though? Right. It's that type of shit that makes CAW leaks such a fucking like thing. It's so fun. Like it's those micro fuck ups that you don't expect to still be like on air. Yeah. That are just so funny. And they're so hard to describe to people. To give an example, and I got a great one for when it comes to James. We're doing some work on one of the test matches. I think it's Sean versus Brandon Curtis.
Sean Maverick versus Brandon Curtis, yeah. Yeah,
Sean Maverick versus Brandon Curtis. Our first I Quit match ever, which has Brandon jump from the Titantron and fucking body splash onto Sean, and they continue after that. Which, let's be honest, that probably could have ended it, but whatever. So, we're doing it, and then we have a bunch of more, while we're doing commentary, I think we're in the our local, like, teen center doing it at the time. We have our fucking friends in the background being dipshits the whole time.
Oh, no, this isn't
No,
the
no,
same
I'm
match.
thinking of
J-Bones, Corey Dangerous, yeah.
J-Bones, Corey Dangerous.
And
how unsurvivable that commentary is. That's the one that's the hard one to listen to.
Yeah, I can't.
Because about 1 billion things are shown, and we never recorded a goddamn thing to show any of it.
Yeah, there was a lot of fights that happened that I was like, I cannot be asked to edit all this footage because at the time I didn't have the equipment. So I was just like, nope. It is so bad.
There was one time in 2005 I was interviewing the Stro. I don't know if you guys remember him from WCW, the Maestro.
Oh,
The Maestro, yes. Yep.
Yeah. Which because of these projects I've done, I've became really good friends with Stro. Been really good friends with him since 2002.
Yeah.
But I was interviewing him on one of my podcasts, and one of my co-hosts at the time, he got a little bored during the interview. We were doing it live too, and we had it was the where you can. I can't even remember what it was called. It was a sound mix option or something like that, where you can hear the sounds of your computer while you're recording too, and stereo mix. That's what it was. And we had that on, and my co-host grabs the mic and keyboard while Stroh's in the middle of telling a story, and fucking dude goes to porn, starts watching some fucking porn. And it didn't dawn on me until like maybe a minute or two into Stroh's story. But everyone in the chat's like, wait a minute, is that fucking like somebody getting clapped in the background? Like, what the fuck is going on in this interview? Fucking everyone listening to this shit, except for the Stroh, because he was on the telephone. Everybody fucking heard this porn that my buddy Kyle was fucking watching while interviewing the Stroh.
Jesus Christ.
Needless to say, that man did not join you on any future streams.
Oh yeah, no, he continued on for a while. But yeah, we told Stroh about it. Stroh thought it was fucking hilarious.
That's fucking funny, bro.
Yeah.
That's great. Oh my god. Imagine
this
you're
chick was
doing a
getting
wrestling
fucking
interview. Yeah, imagine
Yeah,
you're doing an interview and all of a sudden Mia Khalifa's just getting in the background.
Like, I think anyone else that we were doing an interview with probably definitely would have, and rightfully so, would have took it the wrong way. But because I had been friends with Stroh, and I mean, not to knock the Stroh, but a bigger name probably would have been more offended too by it. Like I always think back, like, fuck, can you imagine if that would have happened while we interviewed Harley Race?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That
Or
would have been.
like,
what would have been funny?
one of the times that we had Iron Sheik on, if we had that shit.
Oh, Iron Sheik would have been like, good choice, Bubba.
Yeah.
They would have been all for it,
Watching
bro.
porn, not invite me? Bad choice, Bubba.
I'll break your back, make you humble if you don't show me what you're watching, you pervert.
It was funny, a couple of months before I started doing the Bobby Spade character, there was one character that I was kind of doing on the podcast called Ivan. He was a Russian guy.
Oh, no.
And I decided, I'm going to try doing this for the first time during an interview on the podcast. And we had Iron Sheik on. And we're like, all right, our next question is going to be asked by our buddy Ivan. He's brand new to the show and whatnot. We're just hyping up the character. And fucking Sheik is like, oh, yes, Ivan, ask the question. And so, like, I get on and I go, so what was it that you call in your country like to be the man to start the Hulkamania in 1984? Sheik gets fucking mad. He goes, you fucking jabroni, a fake fucking accent. I'm gonna fuck you up. He's just going fucking nuts, bro.
It's Iron Sheik. And you know what he probably said afterwards? Did you like my promo, Wade?
No, I think he was legit pissed because
no.
not only was is he going nuts about the accent, but because I think I used the word job too. I was like, so was it like the job to Hogan to start Hulkamania? And he's like, after the whole accent thing and fake shit, he was like, you don't know my fucking business. You don't know what fucking job is. Just going nuts. And like in retrospect, I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have fucking worded it that way. It was stupid of me.
Yeah, in fairness.
But to be fair,
You got some gold out of it.
Oh, well, when we were talking about Hogan on that specific interview too, you know how Iron Sheik almost every interview he ever does, when you talk about Hogan, he always calls him a Hollywood blonde jabroni. Well, there was a different word he used on my podcast, and after that, he never used that word again, but he would always say jabroni. I'm not going to say the word. I'm not going to repeat it for many reasons, especially during Pride Month.
Oh, does it begin with an F?
Yes.
Okay, I know where you're going, and I don't need to say it.
Yes. Iron Sheik fucking dropped the F-bomb, and not the one we all fucking know.
Not the one that we all fucking use.
Yeah, exactly. He dropped the unforgivable F-bomb.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and it's funny because recently I was shooting the shit with Aaron Rift, and we were talking about Sheik, and Rift brought that up. He was like, "Remember when fucking Sheik said such and such about Hogan on your show?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "You noticed that he never fucking used that word ever again after that? He always calls him jabroni." I'm like, "You're right. You're fucking right." He goes, "I think you broke the Sheik."
That's a fucking great moment, dude. That's something to take on your grave. Wade Needham, runner of Slam and Jam, commentator of CAW Wrestling, and I broke the Iron Sheik.
Breaker of Cosgrove Series.
I remember one time we thought we would be funny, so we called him up on 4th of July. We were like, "So Sheik, what are you doing today? You know, like, how are you enjoying American Independence Day?" You know, and he's like, oh, baby, let me tell you, I've got the hot dogs on the grill. We've got the and he started going off on everything he was eating that day, and we were like, "Oh fuck, he's in a good mood today." And like afterwards, he was like, "You guys are like the Marlon Brando. You are the very intelligent people." And I'm like, "Motherfucker, last time we talked, you called me an asshole for saying job."
Yeah, he probably laughed.
He's like a, how would I describe this? Like a 4th grader that has a shitty haircut.
No hair.
Don't tell me he has a shitty haircut. He'll just get pissed. But if you say, "Hey, I like your hair," he'll be your best friend for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
Right?
Literally,
Speaking of which, James, your haircut sucks.
He's a 4th grader that the Shah hired as a bodyguard.
Oh my god,
that
a
is
great way to
accurate as fuck. Anyway,
with the mental capacity of a 67-year-old man.
I have to go back to the question you asked. I have one funny moment because I think I talked about a lot of the moments when it came to Miko's flinging the chair. If I had to think of another funny moment,
you talked about flinging the chair, the reactions at Goldrush and Immortal.
Yeah.
Mike talked about passing out the business cards.
Yeah, I think my favorite moment to ever happen. This really showed that I think we had something. When we got a grandma to be a fan of our show to the point where she actually watches everything that she possibly can, including, by the way, yes, she did watch the 8-hour show. I couldn't believe that. She watches everything, she loves everything, and she was probably the first actual fan. And to this day, I guess it's not really funny, but it's just funny that out of the target demographic, which is completely on the way left side of way older, right? You know, excuse you.
Yeah, excuse me, sorry.
I was just shocked that she was a fan of the show. You know what I mean? Like, I just not what I would ever expect. And I remember she was going through a really rough time. I can't for the life of me remember exactly what it was. Forgive me, but she was going through a really hard time. She probably wouldn't want me to say what the reason was for it anyway. And it's
probably best not to.
And I just remember she just stared and watched, smiled, enjoyed, and said, "This is on par with what the WWE is producing." And I'm like, wow. And
awesome.
I was like, yeah, that's it. That's the moment where I thought I made it. You know, that's cool.
That's fucking awesome, man. That's a beautiful thing right there.
Yeah, no,
that's good.
It really is, man. Like that to me was like, if WYW folds tomorrow, that's the number one thing I will remember from this journey. You know what I mean? Like that's the one sign where I know that I did right by doing this show. No matter when it ends, whenever it may be, that's going to be the highlight moment for me always. You know, that was awesome.
Yeah. It was amazing. All right. Last question, boys.
Yay.
Ooh. Double Jeopardy.
Daily double.
How much you want to wager?
Nothing, because I'm flat broke.
Welcome to the club.
They never ask a guy from Brooklyn like me what you want to wager. I want to bet the whole farm, ladies and gentlemen. And guess what? You know what I consider a farmer? Anybody in between New York and LA is a farmer.
Because what do they got except corn and tornadoes?
Different.
And tortillas.
It's the corn. You fucking idiot.
Yeah, maize. That's what they call it. They call it maize.
You get lost in it.
Oh, for fuck.
Yeah. Just like your eyes. I'm lost in them right now, baby.
That's a nice fucking cornfield.
You know what I like? I like cream corn. No, I'm just...
Whoa. Okay, Bobby, this is getting a little too personal.
Yeah, geez, Bobby, is there something you want to say? Shit, fuck.
Oh my god.
You know what?
And just for yeah. And you know the sad thing? That's probably coming from the guy who's had the most unintentionally gay shit spill out of his mouth on the whole show.
You can't say spill out of your mouth though, bro.
You know what, Casey? The amount of homosexual.
I can't say big cock, but he can say big cock coming out of my mouth. That sucks.
That's amazing.
Oh my god, this fucking podcast.
It's great. Fuck it. We're going with it. Thank God I'm releasing this in parts, huh?
It's either like 90% going in a different direction, or at the current moment, 10%. How much gay shit can we say before someone on YouTube goes, "Listen, it's Pride Month. You need to be stopped."
Oh, wow, you know what? Hold on. This kind of brings me back to something.
Oh god.
This is gonna tie a lot of things in together too. Like this is gonna be the smorgasbord that'll fucking tie everything in.
Go ahead.
I want to say it was October 26th, 2005. And now I'm like kind of being like a hypocrite here, remembering a date and something I said, right? But anyway, it was. Yeah, no, I remember this. This was my all-time fucking favorite segment we did on my podcast that involved Alan Caesar III.
Oh, jeez.
Sonic the Hedgehog, Dr. Pizza, whatever you want to call the guy that got knocked out by a white boy on the basketball court, you know? Fucking, he calls into the show, and he's talking about Bret Hart, and he's going on this real long fucking, like, thing. Like, usually, like, because we did an hour show, so when we had people call in, like, we weren't trying to be dicks, but we were trying to be time management, so we would have a minute, 2 minutes, maybe 3 max for somebody, right? He went on for like 12 minutes. Like, he took over a big percentage of the show.
Oh boy.
And so, like, by the time that he's done and we finally figure out a way to get a word in and tell him, like, hey man, I'm sorry, we gotta let you go, we gotta allow other people to be able to call in, we gotta go to break, all that kind of shit, and we get him off the air and continue on with the show for like a minute or two, and somebody in the live chat is like, yeah, I bet you his dad is probably fucking knocking on the door and like, get off the fucking phone, you know? And like, I don't know what it was, but that struck a chord with me, like in a positive way. Like, cause I thought that was like fucking hilarious that somebody put that in there. So I read it, I read the comment live on the air. I'm like, oh yeah, his dad's probably at the door knocking on it, and then I because you know me, I'm a fucking 80s kid, right? And like earlier when we were talking about, millennial, Gen Z, Gen X, all that shit, I'm fucking Gen X guy. So I immediately start thinking Eddie Murphy's fucking stand-up. I can't remember if it was...
No.
Yeah, I can't remember if it was Raw or Delirious. I want to say it might have been Raw.
Oh.
But when Eddie Murphy was doing the fucking... the Ralph Cramden bit...
No.
I started throwing that in there. I was like, oh, yeah, I bet you Alan was on the phone. His dad fucking breaks the door down, and he goes, now, son, I've been watching you, and I know that you have been watching me, and I want you to fuck me in the ass. And we just fucking went with this for like 10 minutes of like all these different things his dad was saying to him. We're like, so I want you to put tassels on your nipples and do jumping jacks tonight, you know, like just random shit, dude. And I up until this point, that was my favorite shit I've ever done on a podcast. But I have to say this, and I'm not blowing smoke up your guys' ass, okay? Tonight is my favorite fucking moment ever on fucking being on a podcast. This has been a fucking fantastic fucking show, dude.
Honestly, I gotta say this has probably been our favorite podcast to do.
100%. I just did not know the feeling was going to be uttered by you first, and it was mutual at all.
I've had a fucking time of my life right now. This time.
Well, you know what? Let me ask you.
Welcome to the Indie Force.
Have you never? Get the fuck out of my head, you asshole!
You want to join? We got cookies and milk on the dark side. Hold on.
Ooh. Hey, that's how you beat the 1, 2, 3 kid. You give him cookies and milk, and then you give him the boot.
I mean,
yeah, then you look at him dead in the face, and you say, "What's up, little bitch?"
If you look at specific,
no eyebrow
it is,
having bitch.
for the record, that is a OSW reference. That is not us exactly calling him a little bitch. It is just a line.
I mean, he can't. Okay, James, listen. He fucking used techno karate when he would do his fucking.
That's fair.
Like that's a kid coming out of his house with a fucking Japanese headband and nunchucks. It's like he doesn't know how to use those. You know he doesn't know how to use those, but he will pretend that he knows how to use those. And he's probably clacked himself so many times in the nuts that he could probably recreate the entire fucking play of the Nutcracker with one good swing.
He used to have everything he ever wanted, but then he hit himself in the nuts. Oh shit!
Oh, he's gonna go crack his balls.
Okay, so last question for y'all.
Actually, I have one question for Wade. I hate to put you on the spot like this, Wade, but
then immediately puts him on the spot.
Since you love this so much,
you know, I'm not a racist.
No.
But, you know.
Listen. I'm just saying, Asian women.
I get that joke, you ass.
It's like that old Bill Burr joke when he always says, you know, the reason why white people come off as racist is because we preempt the race in our statements with fucking instead of putting it at the end. We're like a black guy, you'd be like, yo, this Asian motherfucker, and you're gonna be like, yo, what does this Asian motherfucker do? But white people are like, this fucking Asian, and it just sounds fucking racist and angry, you know?
It's so true, though.
Yeah.
So
Thank God for Bill Burr, because he's my education on how to be still kind of. He's my education on how to be still offensive, but not as offensive.
James, I don't think that you want to use Bill Burr as your good side, like, mood
No,
ring.
I never said he was a good side or bad side. There. He's just the in between. He's kind of the little nut in my head that keeps everything together.
I'm just saying, it's got to be said at least once. The dude does have a bit in his skit of like, yeah, you know, it's not like the husband comes out of nowhere, it's like doing a casserole and starts fucking swinging.
That is a funny ass line though. Considering
right,
the context.
You take Bill Burr. You take Bill Burr. I'll take Andrew Dice Clay.
Whoa. Fair.
That's my guy there, man.
So hold on. What you're telling me is that you understand the poems? I got some poetry too.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
You hear the one about Mother Goose?
I fucked her.
Yeah.
And what about your mother?
Okay.
We fucked her.
No, so
Mary had a little lamb that she kept in her backyard. When she took her panties off, his woolly dick got hard.
Little boy Blue, he needed the money.
Jack and Jill went up the hill, both with a buck and a quarter.
Jill came down with 250 yards.
Jesus Christ.
What a fucking whore.
Okay.
Oh my God! Is Mark Young just a more assholeish version of Anthony Dice Clay?
I think we've just
I don't
determined
know.
this. Yes.
Can you get Casey? Can you get Mark Young one day for a promo to go? So, I was minding my own business when I saw little Miss Muffet. She sat on a tuffet, eating a curds and whey. Along came a spider who sat down beside it. He said, "Hey, what's in the bowl, bitch?"
Fuck.
Oh my God! I will gladly.
Well,
do
we
that.
have it on recording, so
One of my
there you go.
one of my favorite openings of one of Dice Man's things. Like he does the whole thing, getting the cigarette ready. He takes the first puff finally, like 20 minutes into the fucking bit, right? And he grabs the mic finally, and he goes, "So, I was standing in line at the bank the other day, and I had my tongue up this chick's asshole. And she looks down
my
at
God.
me and says, 'Do I know you?'"
Oh my God! Oh my God! I think that's the Dice Man cometh.
That fucking entire stand-up routine is phenomenal.
I love his impressions of fucking John Travolta, Robert De Niro, all these guys at the fucking campfire, you know?
What do you think you're doing? Why are you acting like this? I don't like this.
Jesus fuck. That's best. Love how we're just making Wade Needham pop. This is our childhood hero. We're making him pop with this dumb bullshit. You really
Fucking listen, when you bring up the Dice Man, you gotta fucking expect the Dice Man.
Oh, fuck yeah, man. You know, and with the good, you got to take the bad. When he was just Andrew Clay on CBS, you know, God Bless This House, whatever the fuck TV show was called, you know, we got to take that too with the Dice, right?
Yeah.
We gotta take the fact that he showed up in fucking Tosh.0. The height of Comedy Central.
I don't
some.
even want to know.
He just
That's
goes up.
always weirded me out. I'm not gonna lie.
And he looks like a road rash meta rash. He looks fucking rough and rugged.
Anyway, the whole reason I was saying, I don't mean to put you on the spot here. I was actually going to offer you a role in a WIW as our Jim Tunney. Jack Tunney. It's Jack Tunney, right? Some people... Jack Tunney.
Jack Tunney, yes.
Yeah.
We would
Jack
like
Tunney.
we would like you and Bobby Spade as a package deal, and we were thinking of having you guys as on-screen characters, as authority figures on the screen. What do you say? Year 2. What do you say?
I mean, if it doesn't, you know, take too much.
Literally,
chunk out of my time,
we give you the scripts. You rewrite it however you want to rewrite it. You say it, and that's all you got to do. We got you from there.
Let's go on a trial run. I mean, it's not a no.
Fair
but let's
enough.
Go on a trial
I'll
run.
take
See how
that.
we do.
I don't know.
That's fair.
Listen,
Absolutely fair.
As long as I get to be Ron White in this comedic fucking nonsense,
fair.
I'll be happy. Because I'd rather be sitting on because I want to be sitting on a beanbag chair right now eating Cheetos naked.
Flipping through the television until you come to Robert Tilton.
No, flip into the television until I get an infomercial going. Are you sad? Are you depressed? Are you right now sitting in a beanbag chair naked eating Cheetos?
You feel the urge to get up and pay $1,000.
Have you ever looked at a menu and said, okay?
What would you?
Meanwhile, you got me as Jeff Foxworthy just sitting over here going,
What would you like?
Me and my wife, we made an agreement the other day. We said, you know, we would only smoke after sex, right? So I'm down to like a pack a week. She's up to a pack a day.
God damn.
It's got a little Rodney
I love the
Dangerfield
Rodney
there for you
Dangerfield.
guys.
Oh, of course. Forget.
oh,
Dude,
God bless.
The
God
funny
bless
thing is,
Rod.
he talked about the whole, hey, here I'll have all of the menu. I would have just looked at them and be like, hi, sir, what would you like? My answer, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're the old Vince route, right? You want a hardcore match or a
Yes.
bra and panties
Yes.
match? Yes.
All at the same time.
We're going to push that girth to SummerSlam.
Okay.
Dude, I haven't thought about that.
I know you've been
years.
looking at me, and I've been looking at you.
I know you've been looking at me, and I've been looking
What?
near you. Wait, what?
Vince would. Vince probably would.
And I'm gonna bend over, and you're gonna start.
I want you to come walk towards me, and I'll come on you. What? Vince,
All
what?
meanwhile, he's talking to his own daughter. Incest storyline. Remember, it's canon that he pitched it.
Hey. Remember, him and Trump are pretty much the same guy, but Vince has got charisma.
Yep. Yep.
And all of his hair.
Yeah, well, it's arguable. I mean, after he got his hair cut from Umaga or whatever the fuck the match was, his hair
It
was
was
never the same again.
Lashley, Austin,
No,
and
it
Trump
wasn't.
all gave him the haircut. And yes,
Yeah.
What
What a great way to tie Trump back in, right? In under 30 seconds, too.
and we will
Talk
wrap
about a
up
turnaround.
the next.
As
We will
opposed to a
now
reach
give
around.
Casey the final floor to give us the final question before people tune out.
Please don't
Who you
ask him
kidding?
if he can suck a golf ball through a garden
you-
hose.
Who are you kidding? They've already
They don't
turned out.
respect shit that hard.
Who are you kidding? They've already turned. They turned out
Probably.
45 minutes ago. They've already missed the
They-
best
they
part of this
should've-
whole show.
Yeah, they turned out and I'm turned on. What?
Anybody born after 1985 is not listening right
Probably
now.
not.
No.
Good. Fuck them.
Okay. So, last question. And since we have, in a few managers speaking, the godfather of CAW here with us, I feel it's only right to throw this to Wade first. What would you say to anyone who wants to start their own CAW league?
Oh, shit. Fuck, I mean, I
Oh
guess
shit,
the
he's on
same.
the spot.
I guess the same thing that fucking JR told me about commentary,
Absolutely.
man. Have fun with it.
That's
Pop yourself first, and then you pop
Exactly.
other people.
I agree
Yep.
with that 100%. Have fun with it. Do what makes you feel like you're having fun. Do what you feel is comfortable.
Because
And-
people
and-
can tell.
And get this, if you don't have a capture card, can't afford one, I'll give you guys a tip right now, okay? You can MacGyver that shit. Here's how you can get full HD for your CAW league without spending a fucking dime. If you got Xbox One or PS4, PS5, you get the game, stream on Twitch and download the video on demand, and you've got
That's
HD
true.
video to edit.
That is a fair point.
You don't have to
There you
spend a
go.
dime. And Audacity is free.
And if you
To do
don't
commentary.
want your stuff to get out before you fully edit it, my recommendation is, so long as the thing doesn't break,
You can put it on.
a POG PVR recording software or an Elgato recording software.
That is, if you have the money to speak. If you have the
can
money to think
absolutely-
into it.
You can absolutely turn a Twitch chat private. It's just
Yeah.
it's a pain in the ass. It's not a 2-second process. It takes a little while.
Yeah, but here's what you do too: is like if you're starting to get well known, you just have a separate channel on the side. Like
There you
before
go.
I got my Elgato, I would stream on Mixer because I didn't have any following on Mixer, and then I would download the VOD and then
It's-
delete it right away and edit the
It's
shit
a shame
and then put
that
it
it
up
went
on
to
YouTube
Facebook, man.
Yeah. But still, I mean, if anybody out there wants to start a league and they're thinking to themselves like, "Fuck, the only thing stopping me is a capture card," don't even worry about that. Stream that shit, download the VOD, then delete it after
Yep.
you know you got it, and
Absolutely.
edit from there.
And if you're
That's
starting
advice
to
there
get,
too.
and if you're starting to get some money, get yourself a fucking
Yeah.
terabyte hard drive and
Yep.
do yourself a solid.
If
Do
not a
yourself
4.
solid.
If not a 4.
No, don't go with a 4 if you're like starting out your CAW league. Go with a 1 so that way you can save a good
Then
chunk
go with
of
a 4
footage
if needed.
and not really have to work. And
Save the
if
money,
absolutely
like
needed. You don't
accumulate
wanna spend
quarters
too
and
money.
dollars or whatever change you're not going to use, and then use that change when you built up enough to buy more storage for a rainy day, like when you, oh shit, you don't have enough storage and I only have 2 terabytes worth, one on my main computer hard drive and one on this external one. I gotta go get me another one. So yeah,
And if that doesn't work, become a gigolo. Call yourself the Clam Slammer.
The clamps. I like that name. That's great. God. No, here's another one too, where it doesn't cost any money, and you can kind of jibby your way through some stuff. Start an Anchor podcast, because you can earn money through that by having like a 30-second ad before your stuff. Have your podcast be about anything. You accumulate some money, you get that, and then what you do, if you just still can't afford a hard drive, like a big hard drive, but you still want like some space, $1.99 gets you, I think, 300 gigs of Google Drive. So, like, let's say you hit the threshold of $10 on Anchor, right? You got 4 months of having 300 gigs right there. And if it doesn't take you that long to get $10 each time, you can still keep rolling it out. And $1.99 a month until you can save up more on the side to buy an actual hard drive. There's several different ways to do things for free.
That's even more free. OneDrive.
Huh.
Yes.
What are you, TurboTax?
Free. OneDrive. Microsoft OneDrive allows 1 terabyte of storage space per Microsoft account. Yep.
Really?
For free. I literally have been using it. I was using it.
Well, there you go. Well, that's even better than the Anchor Google Drive theory, then.
You can actually import all your footage right there. The problem is you probably have to re-download it unless you sync your drive to the main system. I haven't gotten that far yet. I mean,
You can always also do the same thing to YouTube. You can just upload your shit, make it private. When you need it, re-download it.
And
yeah, or you can also use the studio to like cut bits and pieces out as well and have them up as individual pieces on YouTube.
There's multiple ways to do it. If you need tips, maybe we'll get together on here in like the next 6 months or something. I don't know. 6 months from now, we'll create like a tips list or something like as CAW creators.
It's all about creativity, right?
The
sky's the limit.
As Macho Man used to say, funky like a monkey, sky's the limit and space is the place.
The Macho Man's driving up the Del Taco. I'm on a Macho Burrito.
Do you remember? Why did that remind me of the time where Jay Lethal and Sanjay Dutt fought at the Pink Taco? What's that remind me of? Because you talked about a Del Taco and it reminded me of the Pink Taco fight between Sanjay Dutt. The Pink Taco fight between Sanjay Dutt and Jay Lethal. Yeah.
Oh my.
Thank you, Vince Russo.
Wrestling is a fucking wacky place to be.
I love it too. I wouldn't change it for the world.
It's so nuts.
Alright.
God, you know what I hate? My fucking brain, as soon as I hear Macho Man Randy Savage, the only quote that appears in my head is "Bone saw is ready."
Really?
I fucking hate that that's where it instantly goes.
What are you doing up there?
Staying away from you. That's a cute outfit. Did your husband give it to you?
His husband gave it to him after he said, "I've been watching you and you've been watching me."
I've been watching you and you have been watching me.
Why did you go into Robbie Rotten there?
Oh, fucking no. It's 12, man.
James, here's a little lesson in not coming in your pants, okay?
Oh, shit.
Well, I don't know if any other 1 hour of a podcast explains the title "Wrestling with Idiocy" better than
what we have just been through.
Just happened right here.
Always play the game of guess who did this. The question of the day: who shit on Hulk Hogan's chest? Let's see if Wade can get it.
I think the better question: who hasn't?
But there's only one culprit who's done it, and it's fucking great.
John Tenta?
Is this a legit question? Like this really happened?
This is real.
All right. Well, yeah, I definitely got a couple of fucking names that are popping through my head right now.
You'll probably be right with the first one.
Why? All right. Ed Leslie.
Nope.
Oh shit. Okay.
Got his hopes up, Mike. Why did you do that?
I still I still say John Tenta.
It's John Tenta. It has to be. Who is it?
It's fucking King Kong Bundy.
I thought they debunked
Oh, that also makes sense.
I thought they debunked that.
No, he did.
Oh, he did. Okay, that makes sense.
They were having a match.
Hey, you know what? Out of all those,
let's hope they were having a match.
It's a fucking. They're having a dark match. I think it's like 1987.
After Hogan's sex tape. After Hogan's sex tape got out, I don't know.
Hogan drops and fucking Bundy trips. And he falls on his shit.
Jesus, that's rough.
It's so brutal. How do you beat that match?
Oh,
he fucking ultimate pinned him.
Oh, you know what would have beat it if they booked it? If that happened, but replace King Kong Bundy with Bastion Booger.
Oof.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and there goes everybody's lunch. Casey, is there any more questions?
Nope, just this one, just the same one I just asked Wade. I got a 30.
You know, actually, after hearing that somebody shit on Hogan, I got a lot of questions.
No.
Wade. They can all be answered. They can all be answered by one simple sentence.
Save with Conrad.
Took fucking Bundy took him to Browntown.
I love this podcast so much.
They were playing with Lincoln Logs.
The size of tree trunks.
Look, I need a cabin.
You went beyond prairie dogging it. Holy shit.
Anyway, yeah, no, it can very easily be answered by this one simple statement. It's pro wrestling.
Yes, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Okay, James, Mike, what would you guys say to someone trying to start their own CAW?
Exactly what Wade said. Just have fun, bro. Have fun. Have a good time. And if you need tips, maybe we'll come back soon and do a tips list for you. That's...
Yeah, here's the title of that podcast. If it's nothing but tips, it's called The Prom Night Promise. Tips.
Yes.
Welcome to the Raisins. How can I help you?
Hi, welcome to Chili's.
Oh, Jesus. The only thing I would tell anybody is don't work on this by yourself. If you have to, please work with others.
Yeah.
It really does help to be able to work off somebody else and their
Even
ideas.
if you don't do it right away, like Wade did, build yourself a community, because that's what will make it even more fun to do it, because, as Wade said, you geek out like we just did for the past hour on stupid, dumb horseshit.
You know what's funny, though? He proved my point, because I did Slam and Jam all by myself. And earlier I said, the legacy of Slam and Jam, somebody's going to watch that and say, that's what not to do. And then he says, don't do it by yourself.
And
so, see, it's poetic.
In fairness.
It's like Star Wars.
Oh my god, all of the callbacks.
I'm so glad that we're describing fucking CAW wrestling as fucking Star Wars. It just rhymes. Don't worry about it. It's poetic.
So
it rhymes.
So who's Jar Jar?
Like
so wait, who's Jar Jar Binks in this scenario then?
Oh, Bobby.
Hello, Daddy.
Oh, Jesus, no. That'd be Hogan, because now he's Jar Jar Stinks.
Oh, no.
And when he turns shield, does that make him the Sith Lord?
The shit lord.
No, that's what King Kong Bundy should have.
Episode 3, Revenge of the Shit.
Oh, what?
The Empire Sharks back.
Oh, what is this podcast? Jesus Christ.
Return of a New Hoe.
I almost choked on my own spit.
That's what she said.
The Phantom Malice.
Before the bed broke. Or would that be after the bed broke?
Both, yes.
Attack of the Crafts. Revenge of the Shit. A New Hole.
God damn it. Casey, for the love of God, please have Wade plug his shit so we can get out of here. Jesus. Jesus Christ, the amount of
Oh no, James. James, you're okay. Don't start doing the girly squeal at some point. It's gonna be fucking game over. Oh no, don't do it.
This portion of the podcast is brought to you by Manscaped.
I wish.
Your balls will thank you.
You know, I'll tell you this. I got this product called the lawnmower. And I'll tell you, it's motherfucker.
What?
I tell you, it's better than a double cheese, double mayo, double onion, double freaking cheeseburger, motherfucker.
We ordered the damn shit.
You know, the best thing is we're doing fucking cornet, and it doesn't sound nothing like him, but it is a spot-on Bruce Pritchard is cornet.
Yes.
Fair.
Motherfucker. Sounds like fucking Mickey Mouse trying to fucking be badass.
Let me fucking tell you something, you fucking jackass. If you ever want to see my crazy book collection, I got 12 of them. All the same book.
I was gonna say he has 12 books.
All the same.
And they're all on fucking Grizzly Smith.
Oh, Jesus Christ, that's timely. Oh boy.
Yep. Yeah.
I'm gonna show you why the Fabulous Freebirds were not the greatest tag team. I'll show you.
Midnight Express was.
It's the book and cheat.
Okay. Well, to be fair, Bobby Gibson and Ricky Morton can still do Canadian Destroyers.
That's fair. That's fucking fair.
You guys ever been to his steakhouse before?
No.
I didn't know you owned a steakhouse.
Morton's.
I want to go to a steakhouse.
Yeah, Morton's Steakhouse.
I got to go to Martin's Steakhouse now on top of Steiner's fucking restaurant. Just to be called a fat ass by him while I'm eating.
Yeah, right.
Fucking Steiner, he legitimately does own a restaurant, right?
Yeah, Choni's. I want to go to Choni's just so I can eat while he's there, and I have him cut a promo on me like he did Samoa Joe and call me a fat ass.
Who was it that called Samoa Joe a half-breed? Was that Steiner
Probably.
too? He goes, you fucking half-breed.
I'll make him bleed.
Complete.
You know what's funny is Scott Steiner is the reason why I'm a fucking mark for Cracker Barrel.
My favorite promos ever in TNA during that time, Bully Ray and Scott Steiner. Specifically the promo. Go talk to Bishop! And Steiner's like, alright, fine, I'm gonna go talk to him. And he just keeps like, alright, good, go talk to him. Steiner, I'm gonna go talk to him.
I'll go talk to him.
He goes, alright, go talk to him. I'm gonna go talk to him.
You know what?
And then Bully Ray just screams as he's all the way at the end of the hall, shut up and go talk to him!
You know what that reminds me of, James, a little bit? Have you ever seen the movie Freddy Got
Yeah.
Fingered?
Oh,
That's
geez.
exactly what they probably
Have
ripped
you-
that off.
Do you know the scene where he's fucking in the car and his dad's looking at him? He's like, I'm proud of you. Proud.
So proud.
I love that part when they're in the restaurant and he's got that phone in the briefcase. He goes, I want you to buy 5 million Deutschmarks. 5 million Deutschmarks. And his dad comes over and goes, is that my fucking suit? Is that my fucking briefcase? And that fucking kid gets fucking hit.
Oh, Lord.
I get to have a
Not that I condone violence against children. I got to put that out.
Yeah, it's just the fact that the kid got hit and
The fucking kid.
Yeah.
The
Produced by
fucking
Grizzly
kid.
Smith.
Jesus
I get
Christ.
to have a whole slice of cake.
Dude, Mike, did you even hear what Wade's response to that was?
Oh, I heard
Produced
him.
by Grizzly
I fucking
fucking
heard it.
Smith. Jesus fuck.
Sponsored by Jimmy Snuka.
Oh,
AKA the dead
Jake
man.
Roberts is triggered. Somewhere in the distance.
The opposite Undertaker. It's funny that he's the opposite Undertaker.
Yep.
You know, he's lost the most WrestleManias, and he's a fucking Stone Cold murderer. Allegedly.
Okay, so, well, with all that said and out of the way, we have gone the distance with Wade Needham as a special
Another state of a
guest.
callback. Going the distance.
Yep. Yep. It just
You're gonna make
all
go
ties
make
in.
a domestic disturbance.
With Grizzly Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, the views expressed by Wade Needham on this podcast are those of Wade Needham and not the fellow boys.
Rest of FTW Productions.
If you have any concerns or comments, complaints, you can send them to fuckoff@ringscoops.com.
Don't forget to mail it up your ass. Don't forget to mail it at up your ass.
In a self-addressed stamped envelope.
And do not forget to shove it up your ugly ass. That's right. Shove it up your ugly ass.
Or in JR's ass.
Oh, no, don't remind me of that fucking segment. Jesus. Probably, that was probably fucking approved by Grizzly Smith, too.
Anyway.
You think JR's ass also has cerebral palsy?
Wow. Wow. You know what's funny is, like, after all these hours, everything that's been said tonight, I think that's the one that got me to finally go, what?
Hey, Mike, you succeeded. You made Wade go, what? How do you feel?
Especially after how hard we put him over earlier, too. Fucking JR.
Hey, no. Well, remember, this is all to the end. It doesn't matter that all the good stuff has already happened. We're at the end of this shit.
This is just a fucked up. This is just us fucked up laughing. Hey, listen. We'll laugh at ourselves and the fucked up shit we went through. Do not take it personally. It's okay.
Yeah, this is at the point we've already come on our face. We're smoking a cigarette, we're watching a little Leno
with some pizza.
Having Grizzly Smith support shit here because he's, an asshole pedophile abuser.
Yeah, we got a greasy pork sandwich served in a dirty ashtray.
Yep.
Yeah. So with that
is good.
With that being said, Casey, one more time, let's try to end this podcast.
Okay. So, after going the friggin' extra mile with Wade Needham as a special guest, it is finally time for the freaking congratulatory plugs. Wade, where can people find you if they want to talk to you and shit?
Oh, the easiest way is ringscoops.com. That's the hub of pretty much everything that I do. You get all my social media links on ringscoops.com. July 1st, which I don't know when this part's going to air or not, but July 1st, the Ring Scoops Wrestling card game is being launched. You could play that between 3 and 8 players. I guess you know what? Since we're reminiscing about a lot of production stuff, I might as well read the notes, read the script, right? I'll read the back of the box for y'all. Let's see if I can do this one take.
Go.
Do you think you have what it takes to cut the greatest promo in professional wrestling history? Step through the ropes, pick a gimmick, and know your role. The Ring Scoops Wrestling card game is the ultimate pro wrestling fan party game. Draw cards at random, use your creativity, and cut a promo on your opponent while the audience cheers. The Ring Scoops card game, July 1st.
Oh my God, Mike and I are gonna have a blast with this game.
Oh, I wanna play this so bad, just from that plug alone. And by the way, now you have a clear audio freaking take. I can literally send it over to you. Perfect take.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank
you guys for having me on the show, man. Like I said earlier, this is like fucking great. I haven't had this much fun in a long time, and this is definitely, without hesitation, my favorite fucking time being ever on a podcast. And I've been doing podcasting for 21 years.
Well, you know what, dude? That coming from you is a fucking greatest compliment I think I could ever receive. And if it all goes downhill from here, I have this one click in the face. Thanks.
This is the Nitro the week before the finger poke of doom?
I hope not. I hope not. But
I hope
if
not
it
either.
if it is, it was one hell of a ride, and I'm glad we had you here.
I'm hoping this is Canadian Stampede, and it's all uphill from here.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
right?
agree with you.
Amen to that.
With that being said, we'll plug our stuff here. And Casey, I'll actually do the final little ending stupid bit that we usually do, and we'll.
You got something?
I do.
You got something? Oh my Lord.
It's gonna get fucked up. But before we
Lord.
get there,
all right then.
if you guys
All
want
right,
to check out,
Mike.
Yeah, Mike, what do you have to plug? I'm sure you only have one thing to plug.
That plug it in my air conditioner. That's what I'm doing.
Funny. You guys.
No, I mean, if you want to check me out, I'm on Twitter at Hell's Warrior 25. I gotta fucking change that name at some point, but whatever.
It is. In fairness, it was your WIW username. I don't know why.
If you want to find me on Discord, Michael XWIW, Xbox, same fucking thing. If you want to find me and want to play a couple games, fucking find me.
There you go. Be his friend. He like friends, kinda.
No, I hate friends. They mooch off.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
How many of us have them friends?
I'll be there for you.
When the rain starts
And I'll mooch
to fall.
off you too.
You fucking cunt. You
Sorry.
cunt.
Sorry.
That hits
You hunt.
super close. That hits super close to home, you piece of shit.
I'm so sorry, man. I really am. I'm sorry. I feel bad.
All right.
Casey.
Okay, my turn to plug since James is going to close it out. So you can find me on Twitter at ctroop19. You can subscribe to Luke Lynch on YouTube, Luke12 Lynch on Twitch, which I actually have some half decent laptop as we've made clear. I may actually be able to freaking start streaming again now.
Woo-hoo!
So look for that in at some point in the future. Don't know when, but keep an eye out for it. And yeah, I think that is about everything. So please find me. I need a break from these morons.
Except for Wade, because Wade, you just met.
Yeah. Somebody buy me a ticket to SoCal. I'll hang out with Wade Needham for a week.
Hell yeah, man! We go down to the Lucha Libre Taco Shop in San Diego.
That's a thing. I want to go there.
Yeah,
Please
2
stop.
locations down there. That's fucking. I've never eaten there, but I've seen videos. It looks fucking phenomenal.
I want to eat there.
Please tell me it's not colored pink.
Nice. All right, my turn to plug some shit. You guys can find me on YouTube. That's youtube.com/user/JHebertSide95. Okay, that's JHEBERTSIDE95. That's where all my main content is. Indie Force, by this point, should be back already. I have no idea what order these things are going up, but they are. It's up there at some point. Indie Force is back. Open Mic Night's back. Content and Reviews back. Watch-alongs are back. Wrestling with Idiocy, as you clearly can tell, is back. Oh my god, the autistic flow is radiating on this podcast. You can also check out, obviously, the shows that we've been talking about, including Weymouth Youth Wrestling, which is the CAW Mike, Casey, and I are all a part of and run. That's youtube.com/user/WYW Pride. And also check out the Twitter at Weymouth Youth TC and on Instagram at Weymouth Youth Wrestling, all one word. Go check those out. And with that being said, after a long and tumultuous podcast where we laughed, cried, laughed some more, and cried some
Shit
more,
on Hogan.
shit on Hogan, and absolutely laughed some more, I leave you with these parting words.
Don't sit on the lap of Grizzly Smith.
Close.
But no cigar.
Hello and welcome to Grizzly Smith Wrestling, here where your kids are never going to be found again. You are trying to find your kid, you can shove it up your ugly ass.
And now comes the commissioner, Mo K. Lester.
Goodbye, everyone.